Welcome to this channel. This is Saroja. In this video, I am going to discuss briefly about what is psychology, what are different schools of psychology and pillars of psychology. Let us discuss about psychology. Psychology is the study of human behavior that deals with not only a single perspective. It simply emphasizes different aspects of human behavior. Let us start with the definition of psychology. Psychology is a study of mind and behavior. It holds the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors which affect how people think, act, and feel. In simple words, psychology is the study of human behaviors across different situations and how the behavior changes according to the situations. What is the use of psychology? It is the question that arises in everyone's mind. The use of psychology is to know more about why people think and act in a particular manner. And it also helps to understand the issues that impact health and our daily lives. It easily helps in motivating people to achieve their goals. Now I am going to describe about schools of psychology. The earlier schools that paved way for further developments in modern psychology are structuralism, functionalism, gestalt psychology, psychodynamic school, and behavioral school. The first one is structuralism. Structuralism emerged from the work of the scientist Wilhelm Wundt. It focused on the structure and operations of mind rather than studying about the whole elements and their phenomenon. By using the method of introspection, structuralists discovered elementary units of mind. Later, it was Edward Titchener who transferred Wundt's ideas to America. The next one is functionalism. It was founded by the scientist William James, and he also known as the founder of American psychology. Functionalism focuses on what mind does and how it does. It means this method explains about the fact that objects are perceived and how they are perceived. The next one is psychodynamic approach. Sigmund Freud was the founder of psychodynamic approach. Sigmund Freud is a famous psychiatrist. This approach concentrates on unconscious forces that drives our behavior. It means what we think and what we do are the urges and drives of our unconscious mind, and they are exposed through our behaviors. The next one is behavioral approach. John Brodus Watson was the founder of behavioristic school. This approach focuses on the study that how learning occurs through interactions with the environment and how behaviors are controlled. The next school of psychology is Gestalt psychology. This school of psychology was founded by Max Wertheimer. It focuses on studying the whole experience of a person rather than breaking it into individual components. Gestalt psychology simply says that the whole is more than the sum of its parts. Now I am going to describe about the 5 pillars of psychology. Let us discuss all the pillars individually. The first pillar is biological. In this we discuss about biopsychology, what is sensation and what is consciousness. What is biopsychology? Biopsychology is a branch of psychology that analyzes how the brain, neurotransmitters and other aspects of our biology influences our behaviors, thoughts and feelings. It tells about the connection between mind and body that is explored through scientific research and clinical practices. Human body consists of peripheral nervous system and the central nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. It consists of only neurons except brain and spinal cord. And when coming to central nervous system, it consists of brain and spinal cord which receives sensory information from nervous system and controls all the bodily responses in the human body. Let us discuss about the neuron and its functions. As everyone knows, neuron is a basic building block of the nervous system. Neurons are the specialized cells that transmit electrical and also the chemical signals. The parts of the neuron are axon, cell body, dendrites, terminal branches and myelin sheath. Dendrites receive information from other cells and transmits this information through cell body to the axon. Terminal branches. It is present at end of each neuron, which also contains synapses. Myelin sheath. It covers the axon that transmits information rapidly. While learning about the neuron, it is very important to know about the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers which transmit signals across synapses from one neuron to another target neuron. Types of neurons: sensory neurons, motor neurons, and interneurons. Sensory neurons are those which carries information from sensory receptor cells through body to the brain. And next, motor neurons. Motor neurons transmit information from brain to the muscles of the body. And interneurons. Interneurons communicate information between different neurons in the body. In this slide, I am going to describe about lobes of brain and their functions. The four lobes are frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. The function of frontal lobe is to control higher mental abilities such as planning and reasoning. Next, parietal lobe. The functioning of parietal lobe is to feel the sensations such as touch, temperature, and pressure. The third one is occipital lobe. The occipital lobe participates in vision processing. Temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is involved in auditory perceptions such as hearing and process the information into meaningful speech. Now just have a brief description about parasympathetic and sympathetic nerves which belongs to peripheral nervous system. Parasympathetic nerves brings your body back to a state of rest and regulates processes such as digestion and slow down your heartbeat. Sympathetic nerves gives fight or flight responses. It is nothing but giving immediate responses. This is the overview of parasympathetic nerves and sympathetic nerves acting on different organs in our body. Now I am going to discuss about sensation and consciousness. Sensation is the process that allows our brains to take the information through five senses. Vision, hearing, taste, smell, and touch are the so-called five senses. Here we can clearly observe the process of sensation as we receive information from the environment through our five senses and we interpret them according to our individual perceptions. This is a list of sensations in our body and the sensory experiences. Let's see about consciousness. Consciousness is the state of being aware of an external object. It is an individual's unique thoughts, memories, feelings, and sensations. And conscious experiences are always constantly changing and shifting. For example, when you focus to a lecture, there may be different thoughts running in your mind. You cannot steadily focus to a lecture. It is called shifting of consciousness. And here we can see, here is an image. It is a pictorial representation of prefrontal cortex which shows the involvement of brain in consciousness. These are the levels of consciousness. The first one is consciousness. It is a mental state that we know what is happening. And the next one is subconscious. It is a state that we cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imaginary. And the last one is unconscious state. It contains thoughts and desires that we have no true and direct knowledge. Simply, we don't know what is happening. Stay tuned to know about the remaining four pillars of psychology.